talk about the games happened on April 3rd, Sunday. We're going to the last week of the regular season. There will be a lot of players resting, so you want to really save your acquisitions till the end. And just a couple of players, if given 30 minutes, they could literally be top 20, 30 players. So, if your league is still going on, make sure you make sure you be very active on the waiver wire to win you the ship. All right, let's talk about the first game. Is the This one was a surprise, even though Suns were without their they were resting a bunch of guys, but still like CP3 played, Mikal Bridges played, Cameron Johnson came in, but they just didn't have it on Sunday. They lost they lost to Oklahoma City Thunder. Oh my God, how many games were there? 91, 96 to 170. Yeah, it wasn't really close. CP3 surprisingly played. I guess he was out for so long. He wanted to just have a few more games in before the playoff starts. So that's fine. He had 9 assists, 3 steals. That's okay. Cameron Payne is somebody that I'll be paying attention to. I do think Chris Paul is probably gonna get rested at least one game this week. So yeah, they have a back-to-back Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll be surprised. Maybe, who knows? CP3 could play both. But if CP3 is out, Cameron Payne is a really good stream. He could get you 10 assists easy. Landry Shamet, 31 minutes. We shouldn't really trust him. JaVale McGee, nope. Cameron Johnson, sure. Like last week, if you need threes, you could stream him. The guy just, even in 25 minutes, he's going to make 2.5 threes. He took 11 threes here. If he made 40 to 45%, that's 4 threes, 5 threes right there. Without Jay Crowder, yes, he's a must roster. And who knows, Jay Crowder will also, like, I think Jay Crowder is more likely Jay Crowder get rested than CP3. Mikal Bridges, 18 points, 1 3, 1 steal. Okay night from him. And with Ayton out, JaVale McGee started. Didn't really do much. This game played just 23 minutes. Oklahoma City Thunder, on the other hand, look at Pokashevsky. He was out Friday. Came back. Wow, what a game. He had 6 turnovers. That's okay. But everything else is beautiful. 10 rebounds, 12 assists, a steal and a block, 17 points. This is what this man can do. He's kind of a unicorn. He could do it all. He could get assists. He could get steals. He could get blocks. The problem with him is the low field goal most nights. So this is a really good game here. Isaiah Roby played just 30 minutes. 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 threes. The guy just struggled from the free throw line a lot, over the last week, 3 for 6. But, if you don't care about the free throws, I think he's a must roster. And they got 4 more games this week, like many other teams, Oklahoma City Thunder. But the problem is 3 of their games are on high volume days. So you may not even get to use him, depending on your team. This guy Vit has been, they just don't have any guards. And Trey Mann, they have 1 week left. Is Trey Mann gonna be back? If he's got a hamstring issue, why bring him back? So, this guy Vit might just ride it out, getting 30 plus minutes the rest of the way. Theo Maladon, 27 minutes, not the best game. He played really well on Friday. You could continue having him this week if you need some guard stats. And he's a fairly big guard, so he can get you some defensive stats as well. Aaron Wiggins, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Yeah, he's maybe the guy I like the least out of all the starters. But you could still stream him for points, for some rebounds, for some steals. He gets you some steals, a little bit of assist. But right now, looking like all the Thunder starters, they could be rostered. Right, let's look at the next game. This game was ugly. Washington Wizards lost to the Celtics by 42 points. Kristaps Porzingis still playing. Not the best game from him, 5 for 15, 7 rebounds, no defensive stats. But as long as he's playing, that's great. And they have a back-to-back right off the bat next week, Monday and Wednesday. I don't know if he'll play both, to be honest. Maybe he will. He played a back-to-back last week, and Wizards, they have absolutely nothing to play for. So we'll see. Sadorensky, just an assist streamer, but he only played 20 minutes here, while Ish Smith played 27. So it looks like these guys are splitting the minutes. But if you need assists, you can stream him. KCP continues to score a bunch, 17 points with 1 3, a steal and a block. If you need points and threes, he could be streamed. And the Wizards got a back-to-back, Monday and Wednesday, so you could stream him the first 2 games. And then the last 2 games are all high-volume days. Corey Kispert, nope, not really interested in him. Danny Addy was interesting, but the minutes is kept low, 23 minutes, because him and Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura is not a great fantasy. He really just gets you points and some field goal and a little bit rebounds and nothing else. So we shouldn't be worried about him. For the Celtics, easy game for them. Jaylen Brown still played 28 minutes. Jason Tatum played okay. Al Horford should have a big finish. The Celtics is one of those teams that had a very weird, very very interesting schedule, because even though they only have 3 games, they have a back-to-back on Wednesday and Thursday, which both days are very low volume, 6 and 7 games. So if you could stream all these, like Derek White, Grant Williams, Daniel Theis, these guys should be out there on the waiver wire. You could stream them, depending on what you need. Al Horford, I think Al Horford is going to have a big finish the last 3 games without Robert Williams. All right, let's look at the next game. The Dallas Mavericks went to Milwaukee, beat them 118-112. Reggie Bullock, 16 points, 7 rebounds, and an assist. Not bad, 3 threes. If you need threes, yep, you go for him. Dorian Finney-Smith also going to give you some threes, some steals. Wow, he did exactly that. Had 6 assists, which is also nice. Dwight Powell had a huge game as well. The Dallas Mavericks, they have 3 games. Only one of those games is in low volume, Wednesday. So if you got a Maverick guys, Tuesday you probably have a full house, so you could, have one of them play on Wednesday and just drop the guys, because the other 2 games are pretty high volume. Luka, 9 for 22, a bit inefficient, but still put up 32 points, 11 for 14 from the free throw line, 15 assists is absolutely huge. Well, Luka on this team just has unlimited usage, right? 3 steals. He's never going to be off ball, I don't think. 6 turnovers, yep. For a guy with such high usage, 6 turnovers is understandable. Jalen Brunson, 15 points and 3 threes. As long as Luka is playing, he's not going to get a lot of assists. So it's just points and threes at this point for Jalen Brunson. For the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis, 28 points. Not bad. 4 for 8 from the free throw line with 2 steals and 10 rebounds. Chris Middleton struggled. Jrue Holiday also had a great game with 20 points and 9 assists. But Brook Lopez is somebody we could maybe look at to stream for blocks and threes. He had no blocks here, but usually he gives you a block or 2. Him and Bobby Portis are splitting the minutes. 24 minutes of Brook Lopez, I think is still good enough if you're looking for threes and blocks. But outside of Brook Lopez, there's really nobody fantasy relevant. Even when we get to the end of the season, unless Giannis sits, unless like the big 3 sits, then maybe we could look at Jordan Nwora, who played 40 minutes last game and put up a great line. But if everybody plays, not really. All right, let's look at Denver Nuggets. This game was supposed to be a big win for the Lakers. AD said that they can finish the season 5-0. Now they can only finish 4-0. They got 4 games left, and right now they're 2 games behind the Spurs. Right, if they lose one more game and Spurs win another, they will be statistically out of it. They're honestly just on the verge. One more game, they're out, and if they're out, I don't know if LeBron AD going to play every game. I don't know. But this is pretty crazy that Lakers not even be able to make the 10th seed. Because 8th seed, they're like 7.5 games behind the 8th seed. The only reason they still have a chance is because the plays, everybody's got a chance. This game was supposed to be big, but LeBron missed this game. And Jokic, of course, 38 points, 18 rebounds. The only thing is sometimes he struggled from the free throw line, 8 for 11. But my God, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. 7 turnovers, yes. If the guy's going to put up this line, 7 turnovers, he could have 15 turnovers. Still a great line. What a beast this guy is. And do we expect him to play all the games next week? Because they need to get a better record for seeding purposes. I think he only missed 1 game this year, maybe. And it wasn't because he was hurt, it's just rest. Will Barton played well. Monty Morris had 10 assists, 2 steals and a block. These guys all play well. JaMychal Green got the start. Yeah, him and Aaron Gordon, I don't really like. There's just so many better. I think there's so many guys out there that are better. And Bones Hyland is the only guy that's interesting. If the Denver Nuggets got an interesting schedule, I'll be looking to, they got 3 games. And the only low volume game is on Thursday. So, can't really trust it, to be honest. We look at the Lakers. But Bones Hyland, I think, if you want, you could maybe pick him up on Thursday. Stream him for one day, and on Sunday, who knows? Maybe Jokic gets rested, and then he's gonna come in and play 30 minutes. For the LA Lakers, Malik Monk has been playing pretty well. 6 assists, 11 points, with 1 3, with 5 turnovers. I mean, last game he was playing okay, and then the game before that, I think he had 28 points. So the Lakers, they got 4 games. They have a back-to-back Thursday and Friday. Malik Monk, if he's out on the waiver wire, I would stream him. If he need points, threes, some guard stats basically. AD had a huge game, 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists with LeBron out, with 2 steals and 3 blocks. Yeah, AD is a beast. But if they are out of it, if let's say by Thursday they are statistically eliminated, is AD going to play both back-to-back, or is AD going to play another game? Or is LeBron going to play another game? Who's out this game? I'm pretty sure if they're statistically out of it, LeBron is not going to play. Maybe AD will play, but LeBron definitely is not going to play. So there'll be some extra usage going around. Avery Bradley, Russell Westbrook had 7 assists. Russell had an okay game. If you ignore the free throws, everything else is fine. But again, if you don't need the assist and you're trying to win those three efficiency categories, then you gotta drop Russell Westbrook, because all of a sudden you just really opened up your turnover, your free throws, and your field goal. Carmelo Anthony played 26 minutes. Yeah, very, very mediocre numbers. The Lakers a mess. Other than Malik Monk, I wouldn't really touch anybody from this team. All right, let's go to the next team. The Detroit Pistons. It's fine. They beat another team without Cade Cunningham. Killian Hayes thought he would get more minutes, but it turns out Carson Edwards got 30 minutes and Braxton Key got 28. Killian Hayes still put up okay numbers if you're looking for assists and steals. 7 assists and a steal. Frank Jackson got huge minutes. So we'll see what happens with Cade Cunningham. Isaiah Stewart only played 21 minutes. The minutes is just low for some of these guys. Sadiq Bey played 22. Maybe they're just purposely resting these guys. Like Isaiah Jackson and Sadiq Bey and Cade Cunningham, they both started and played like 6 minutes. This game, Sadiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart played 21, so they're just tanking full mode. They don't even want to develop their young players at this point. They just want to give them rest. They just hand out the rest, play 21 minutes. So I think, given that, we could let them go, to be honest. Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey. For Detroit Pistons, they don't have a game on Tuesday. They have a game on Wednesday. Well, maybe the smart thing is you drop them after Wednesday, because they do have that low volume. Wednesday only have 6 teams play, so maybe they play 30 minutes in that game. I'm not sure. I'm not so sure what's going on with Detroit. If you're gonna rest them, just rest them. I don't know. Just last game was super well. Play them 6 minutes. Sadiq Bey, in 23 minutes, he took 18 shots at 31 points. Well, if he's that good in 22 minutes, you just have to write it out, I suppose. Kelly Olynyk, another great fantasy player, only get 18 minutes, so we could ignore him for now. For the Indiana Pacers, yep, you have Gogo Badaze playing 8 minutes in foul trouble, had 2 blocks, and Isaiah Jackson played 24. Yeah, Isaiah Jackson is just a beast. 24 minutes, had 2 steals and 3 blocks. Going 3 for 5 from the free throw line. Sometimes he's gonna do this. Sometimes he's gonna play 8 minutes, have 4 fouls. To be honest, like if Isaiah Jackson is gonna start, I would be like, if you need blocks, I would stream him. But given that Gogo is starting, I don't know how much we can trust Isaiah Jackson. And the only situation you want to have him is really if he needs blocks. Everything else is really inconsistent. Jalen Smith, I think we could drop him, play just 21 minutes. Everybody's back now, right? O'Shea Brissett, yeah, he's a guy that we could for sure stream. The Pacers, again, they have a really bad schedule. They have a game on Tuesday, and then they don't have a game for 3 days, and they have a back-to-back to close out the season. And who knows who's going to play. Maybe Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield won't play in that back-to-back. You just don't know what's going to happen. But I guess if they're healthy, they should be playing. Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton need to get a shout-out. 17 assists. What a game from him, and 0 turnovers. That's amazing with 2 blocks. Really good game from him, obviously. And this guy next year gonna go top 30, I think. Maybe Malcolm Brogdon is gonna come in, but he's a player that fits certain build really, really well, really well. Like if you try to build an efficient team, he give you all. Like as a guard, he gets you blocks, he get a little bit of rebounds. His field goal is all right. I mean, fairly efficient. I would say doesn't turn the ball over really that much, and a huge assist, huge steals, huge blocks. Those categories are pretty valuable. Uh, yeah, but given they don't have a great schedule, it kind of sucks for the last week of the regular season. The next game is the Philly beating the Cleveland Cavaliers 112 108, and the Joel Embiid, what a game, 44 points, 17 assists. Yeah, on a per game basis, he's the top three, I think. And to be honest, he played a lot of games this year. Like he got COVID beginning of the season, but ever since that, I don't think he missed that many games. Every back to back, he would listed questionable and he just play. Maybe he's trying to get the MVP. But his running mate, James Harden, well, he did have a triple double, 11 for 12 on the free throw line. Fantasy wise, this is a great line, but Harden has. Let's see what happens next year because the hamstring issue is still bothering him. Just really struggling from the field, 4 for 13 again. Tyrese Maxey, another bad game from him, and he's a guy that we could drop for sure. With Harden and Joel Embiid playing both every time, every game, he doesn't really have an opportunity to And for the Philadelphia Sixers, they have 4 games, yes, but most of the games are on high volume days, and they have a back-to-back coming up on the weekend with those Joel Embiid. And if the seeding don't matter at that point, both guys gonna rest. They did play a back-to-back. So we'll see. These guys might miss a game or two by the end. Matisse Thybulle, great game, 2 steals and 2 blocks. He's a guy that we could stream heading into the last week of the season. Tobias Harris had an okay game. But really on this team, not a lot of fantasy value out there because they're trying to compete and all the star players are playing. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, Karis LeVert, yeah. If you picked him up for this last week, they have 5 games. He's giving you great value. Another great, decent game, 7 assists and a steal, 18 points. Darius Garland, only 4 assists, but 6 for 6 from the free throw line, 3 threes, 4 steals, 22 points. Really good game, man. I was really surprised he played all 5 games, to be honest. I guess they really needed him with all the injuries going on. And they have one of the worst schedules next week because all their 3 games are high volume days. Moses Brown, if you need rebounds, yep, he give you just that. He's not a big shot blocker either, just grabbing a lot of rebounds. 12 rebounds. If you need that, maybe you could stream him this week. But again, they don't have a great schedule. Kevin Love, thought he's going to take a step forward with all the injuries going on, but just 21 minutes, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Mediocre number, 3 threes is nice, but you would expect more when all the injuries happen. Lauri Markkanen, sure, 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Also, would have been a really great stream this week, and Isaiah Okoro just did absolutely nothing. I guess he had a steal and 4 rebounds. But we shouldn't really touch him in fantasy. The next game, the New York Knicks beat the Orlando Magic 118-88. Julius Randle unfortunately shut down. But that's what's gonna happen if your league is still going. You have Randle that really sucks. But Obi Toppin could be a good option for last week. The New York Knicks, they have 3 games, but they do have 1 game in low volume day on Wednesday. So Obi Toppin, like I'll be happy to stream him for a few games. 20 points, 8 rebounds. He should give you good points and rebounds. Everything else, I'm not so sure. I had a block here. RJ should continue to jack away his shots. 27 points here with 3 threes. Sure, like Evan Fournier and Alec Burks for the next week. And Emmanuel Quickly, also interesting. Now that Julius Randle is out, maybe they'll play guards more minutes. Well, I guess this game Evan Fournier was in foul trouble, so Emmanuel Quickly got a few extra minutes. But either way, Emmanuel Quickly, we could look at him to stream on Wednesday. This Wednesday, if you need some guard stats in your finals matchup. Mitchell Robinson, this guy, wow! Like the later half of the season, this guy is so good. Also because Nerlens Noel was out for the whole second half. But my God, 10 rebounds, 3 steals, and 5 blocks. Another monster game out of him. For the Orlando Magic, Chuma Okeke thought he would be a good stream today because Wendell Carter Jr. is still out. Didn't really do much. I mean, nobody did. Wendell Carter Jr. grabbed 12 rebounds. That's nice. 3 threes. But the Magic, again, they also only have 3 games. One of the games being in low volume. So if you need blocks, you could continue to hold on to Wendell Carter Jr. But if you don't need the blocks, if you don't need the blocks and rebound, 100% let him go. And blocks is high variance. Anything could happen. RJ Hampton, 27 minutes, didn't really do much, and Cole Anthony left the game in 2 minutes, and he's probably shut down for the season. So maybe Markelle Fultz could come in, play 25 plus minutes. If you need assists and steals, you could maybe look at Markelle Fultz, but who knows? He's still coming back from a major injury. They want to keep his minutes low anyways, so we don't know what's gonna happen. But on this Magic team, really not a lot of value, because you have a lot of guys and they are splitting the minutes, and even if they play 30 minutes, they're not that consistent getting you the numbers. Like for example, Wagner played 28 minutes, but we can't trust him getting 28 without even if Wendell Carter Jr. doesn't play. All right, let's go to the next game. The Miami Heat. They beat the Toronto Raptors. Okay, so they are after all the drama, they're back on top. They're right now the first seed in the Eastern Conference still. 2 games ahead of the Celtics. Okay. All right. And Jimmy Butler didn't play. Bad, 16 points and 9 rebounds. 1 4 for 9 from the free throw line. Not the best game from Bad. And only 1 assist. Max Strauss had 23 points. Yeah, I mean, if all the guys were out, you could definitely stream him. But it looks like Duncan Robinson just come off the bench now. Max just a better version of him at this point after getting that huge contract. Duncan Robinson. Kyle Lowry had 2 threes. Kyle Lowry had a big game. 2 threes, 10 assists, a steal with 16 points. Yep, the Miami Heat, they don't really have a lot of, I guess, other than some 3-point shooters, they also don't have a lot of guys that are potentially good in fantasy. Tyler Hero almost had a triple-double, but 8 turnovers really kills you. But when you're playing against the Raptors, they do generate a lot of turnovers. But Tyler Hero should be pretty strong for the if Jimmy Butler continues to be out. And to be honest, he's gonna be 6th man of the year, and from fantasy perspective, points and threes are very, very solid all season. Let's look at the Raptors here. Not much to talk about this Raptors team because all the starters play 40 minutes. And who played well this game? I think everybody. Scotty Barnes had 2 assists and 2 steals, 7 rebounds, 3 threes, 19 points, a little bit everything. Siakam 29 popped off. Gary Trent Jr. with 3 steals and 3 threes. He's one of the biggest surprises. He was averaging 0.7, 0.8 steals when he was in Portland. And this year, whole season with Raptors, averaging 2 steals a game. That's just what it is. This Raptors defensive scheme generate a lot of defensive stats. Fred VanVleet, huge game, 29 points, 11 for 11 from the free throw line is actually huge. 7 assists and 3 steals. But outside of that, outside of the starters, there's not a lot of value out there, so we could just skip them. All right, the next game is a shootout, 139-132. The Timberwolves beat the Rockets. The Timberwolves need to keep winning, so they get a better seeding. Possibly, if they can't get up to the 6th seed, then you get to play the Warriors. That's a little bit. Well, for the Grizzlies, they have locked down the 2nd seed in the West. So JJJ, who knows, might miss a few more games because they have nothing to play for, and who knows what they're gonna do. They might just start resting some guys. So that's something to pay attention to. And for the Timberwolves, 6th seed, you got to play the Warriors. I think I probably play the Grizzlies in the first round, to be honest. But again, if you are the 6th seed, you don't have to win any games to be in the play. So they still want to win games. They don't want to just dodge the Warriors team, right? All right, for Anthony Edwards, 33 points, 5 assists, 2 steals. Yeah, really great out of Anthony Edwards. Vanderbilt, even though he only had 2 points, but he played 30 minutes, he had a steal and 2 blocks. That's not bad. If you need steals and rebound, you could still stream this guy this week, even if he gets 20 to 25 minutes. Because it's a pretty rare combination, steals and blocks, right? Usually a lot of the good steals guy are guards who doesn't get a lot of blocks. Karl Anthony Towns popped off, 28 points and 11 rebounds. And Timberwolves, they have one of the worst schedules again. Next week, they only have 3 games, and 2 of them being high-volume days. Malik Beasley coming in place of Patrick Beverley. If he's going to start again, if you want threes, you could stream him and D-Lo. Pretty good game. 22 points, made all the free throws, 4 threes, 9 assists, and 4 steals. The 4 steals stands out. I think the last game he also played decent. So we'll see if D-Lo can finish the season strong. He started off the season pretty strong, but really, if we look at whole season, he's really fallen off because he's got a lot of he's low He's not a great free throw shooter. As a guard, he turned the ball over a lot. And then let's see, D'Angelo Russell. Well, he's actually good, 69th, better than I expected. Wow, he's actually shooting 82.8% from the free throw line this season. That's the biggest thing. Like if he's shooting 77, 76, he's not going to be a 69th ranked player. He's going to be outside of 80, 90. But everything else, the counting stat, that's what you expect. 18 points, maybe that's a bit lower. 2.7 threes, yes. Close to 3 threes a game and 7 assists. All right, let's go to and the rest of the Timberwolves. Yeah, they don't really have much value. For the Rockets, my God, Emperor Şengün, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green. If you have these three guys, they can definitely help you win the league. Last year it was Kelly Olynyk helping people winning leagues. But this week has been crazy for Jalen Green. I think he scored over 30 points every single game, had 4 threes here. And even crazier for Kevin Porter Jr., 21 points, 8 turnovers, yes. He turned the ball over 8 times. But went 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Kevin Porter Jr. He struggled from the free throw line all season, hit 4 threes, 8 assists, 2 steals, and 6 rebounds. What a week from him. And Şengün, what a game from him as well, even though he was out majority of the week. But the Rockets, they still got 3 more games. The Houston Rockets, yeah, they have 3 games next week. Definitely all their games are on high volume days, not ideal. But Şengün, Porter Jr., Jalen Green, they're going to have monster games. Well, this game, it was against a bad team, so not a bad team, the Timberwolves team, so they scored 132 points. Everybody's stat looked pretty good. If they play a good defensive team, they're going to look pretty ugly. Well, they play the Brooklyn Nets, so they should be good. But then they play the Raptors on Friday, next Friday, so they are going to struggle in that game. But Şengün, yeah, this is what he can do. 15 rebounds, made his free throws, 4 assists and a block, 14 points, a must roster, even though they don't have 3 games. He could be a top 30 player next week if we look at the total value. Even though if he gets 33 games, who knows, he could have 3 steals, 3 blocks. And he can pass the ball as well. Garrison Matthews, Jason Tate, not really interested in them. Even though Garrison Matthews had 2 steals and a block, that's pretty good. And Josh Christopher also absolutely went off, 30 points and 2 steals. But really can't trust his minutes. Kenny Martin Jr. played 27. It depends on how many minutes they're going to give Jason Tate and Garrison Matthews. It's not guaranteed they're going to get 30 minutes though. All right, let's look at the next team. This game. Oh, for whatever reason, we talked about this team to start off the... This is the first team we talked about. All right, let's talk about the next game then. The Portland Trailblazers lost to the Spurs. This is a must-win. Not a must-win, but Spurs, they need to make the plays. They were without DeJounte Murray, but no worries. They still got the win because Portland, I mean, it's just a bunch of G League guys. Drew Eubanks, absolutely must roster if you need field goal and rebounds. He doesn't really provide a lot of other things like assists, steals. He actually doesn't block that many shots. But the rebounds and field goal very solid. Brandon Williams, another decent game. 7 assists and steal on the block is not bad. 7 assists is definitely not bad. He's a guy that can get you a lot of defensive stats as well. And Portland, they got 4 more games this week. If you need those numbers, especially the assists, the steals, the blocks, yes. Same thing with Chris Dunn coming off the bench. If you need assists and steals, had 6 assists and those steals. But usually Chris Dunn is going to give you a steal or 2. And he's going to give you 5 assists. So these are the 2 guys that I'm happy to stream next week. All the other guys, can you really trust any of these guys? Keon Johnson has been getting huge minutes, but inconsistent. I would say CJ LB, inconsistent. Greg Brown III, what do they really bring you? You're not sure. And the minutes is a bit inconsistent as well. For the Spurs, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, and Zach Collins if Jacob Poeltl continues to be out. If DeJounte Murray is out, we could stream Trey Jones. There's just a lot of value out there right now on the Spurs. But I think I just saw, he's gonna play. DeJounte Murray is gonna play next game, so Trey Jones' value is going to 0. But Zach Collins, he could help you next week if Jacob Poeltl continues to be out. He's a guy that can get you a bunch of blocks. He blocks a lot of shots. This guy has really good timing, and he's gonna grab rebounds. Playing on this Spurs team. And Spurs team, they got 4 games. So Poeltl doesn't play. What's going on with Poeltl? Is it? He's questionable. Okay. Back tightness. Okay. So if he misses time, we could stream Zach Collins and Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell. Yeah, we could stream all these guys next week. Let's look at the next game. The Warriors beat the Sacramento Kings 109-90. Yeah, the Warriors, even though they're the third seed, they still try to win games, right? They try to win games because they could still fall down to the fourth. It's not that big of a difference, third and fourth. But if you are the fourth seed, you might play Phoenix Suns the second round versus the Grizzlies, even though both teams are pretty scary. But you'd rather play Phoenix Suns. Oh, sorry, you'd rather play Grizzlies. A little bit inexperienced young team versus the Suns. They got veteran leadership, and they made it to the finals last year. So Andrew Wiggins without Clay played well. 25 points, 4 threes, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and a steal, and made his free throws. Gary Payton Jr. had 3 steals. I mean, he's a steal streamer. That's all he is. Draymond Green surprisingly played, and he fouled out in 24 minutes. 6 personal fouls, but had 5 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. That's pretty good. Draymond Green, let's see how many games he's going to play. Like, if they lock down the third seed, 100% Draymond Green is not going to play on their back-to-back games because they just want to rest him. And obviously, guys like Clay, they're going to get rested as well. Jordan Poole should have another great week. 22 points. Only 22 points here, 4 threes, 5 assists, and a block. He's been super. He's just been insanely good the whole month, to be honest. Jordan Poole, also another guy, is a league winner. Even before Steph Curry went down, he is just playing well. 20th ranked player in the last week. Sorry, in the last month. He's been doing it for the month now. Insane. But next year, fully healthy Clay and Curry, I don't really know where Jordan Poole sits on this squad. Now he has the opportunity. He has the minutes, the usage. I don't know about next season though. There are a lot of question marks. For the Kings, a lot of value. Damian Jones popped off, had like 17 rebounds and 6 blocks versus the Rockets. But there's a difference. He still got 17 points. That's nice. Made his free throws. But, you don't get to play Rockets every night. Still a decent line, I would say. Davion Mitchell just been dishing out so many assists. 9 assists and a steal. Didn't shoot the ball well. He's been struggling for a while now, actually. The past 2-3 games. And he was a minus 21. But obviously still a must roster. The Kings, Sacramento Kings, they got 3 games. And they also don't have a great schedule. They play 1 game on Tuesday, and they don't have any games in 3 days. Right? Then they finish the year with a back-to-back. Dante DiVincenzo, another guy we could stream maybe till the end of the week. Another great game, 4 rebounds. He had 9 rebounds, 9 assists the other night. Only 4 here, but steal numbers super solid. 2 steals, 2 threes, 14 points. Still 100% we could stream him. And Harrison Barnes 18 and 10. Well, the Kings is not going anywhere. And if you're still holding on to De'Aaron Fox, he's not going to play, I don't think. Same thing with the Sabonis. These guys they're not coming back. There's no point because they have nothing to play for. They should be trying to tank and get a better pick. That's what they should be doing. All right, let's talk about the last game. The New Orleans Pelicans got destroyed by the Clippers. Okay, but the Pelicans, they're kind of safe. They're 3 games ahead of the Lakers. I mean, 100%, they're going to be in the play-ins. So I don't think the 9th and 10th seed matters that much. Okay, you have home court advantage actually for that 1 game. But that's about it. Brandon Ingram really struggled versus the Clippers. Had 8 for 8 from the free throw line is good. 8 rebounds, 4 assists, but had 6 turnovers. Jackson Hayes, we could drop him. Valanciunas played just 22 minutes, yes, versus the Clippers. Sometimes they like to go small, so Larry Nance Jr. might be better cover on the perimeter, who played 28 minutes, but we shouldn't trust it. It's just 1 game. Shouldn't trust his minutes. Herbert Jones, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Another guy that's just been super good all year, to be honest, providing those defensive stats. Had 1 steal and 2 blocks here. CJ McCollum, 19 points. But on this team, when we get to the last week of the regular season, not a lot of guys that we're really interested in picking up. If anything, we want to drop Jackson Hayes if you still have him. And the New Orleans Pelicans, what's their schedule look like? Yeah, they have 4 games a week. But again, most of the teams, just a lot of high volume. For example, on Sunday, every team plays. So you're not going to really use any of the guys you picked up on the waiver wire. For our Clippers, all the guys came back. Morris had a good game, 22 points, 2 steals and 2 blocks with 4 threes. Zubac had 16. Zubac had a huge game, 16 points and 14 rebounds. So Isaiah Hartenstein still got 23 minutes. So I'll be happy to stream Isaiah Hartenstein for this week. The LA Clippers, they do have an interesting schedule because they have 2 games on low volume days, one on Wednesday and one on Saturday. So guys like Robert Covington, who only got 18 minutes, sure, like if you need defensive stats, I'll be happy to stream him on Wednesday. Same thing with Isaiah Hartenstein. He does provide a little bit of everything. Rebound, assists, steals, blocks, he does it all. And Paul George, 15 points, mediocre, and Reggie Jackson, 11, 10. But, Clippers, they like to rest guys. So, again, on Sunday, how many guys they're going to rest? I know they're going to rest Paul George for sure in one of those back-to-backs. And who knows, maybe Marcus Morris. And now, who knows, Robert Covington could come in and play 35 minutes again and have a huge game. So we'll see. But that's it for all the games, guys. I will see you tomorrow.